country and they watching. I see man with around in a cover down their passing. Let me see flag in the air and rag in the air. People jumping, throwing up their hair. Let me see their spot, rain cats, renegade and all that. One time.
WEFM, the new fresh sound.
WhatsApp us or call us at 457-9997. Activated Mornings on WEFM 99.9 is on now.
All right, then it's WEFM 99.9. It's now time for Lyf with his commentary this morning. Good morning to you, Lyf.
Good morning, Roleza. Good morning, Maka.
Morning.
Good morning, listeners of WEFM. So, Roleza, we're going to finally get to see the outcome of the matters before the court in relation to the citizenship issue with Minister of Foreign Affairs, Fitzgerald Bramble, and the Prime Minister, Dr. Gavin Friday. Apparently, today is the, they're going to have some initial appearance today to deal with some of the issues. I think people are saying the government is trying to overturn the will of the people, even if the
government or the previous administration.
The is basically trying to overturn the will of the people, which is a nonsensical statement, because even though if the court deems that they are not legitimate candidates, they still can overturn it as 14-1. So
Yep.
But I think that a lot of people, if you're sensible, you would want this before the court to see the outcome. Ignore it. I don't think this has anything to do with politics. Well, it has something to do with politics with them because they are politicians, but I think that a lot of people want this to see the outcome of this, what the court decides. When it came up again in the last elections, there were a lot of commentators, there were a lot of lawyers who came forward and gave their views on it. And I think some of the views that some of the lawyers were giving were political views because of who they support or whatever. So like we don't know. We don't know what the court is going to decide. We've seen we've seen matters like these before other courts, and the candidates that had the dual citizenship, they actually lost in some cases. So I think that people would really like to see the outcome. I for one would like to see the outcome of this and what the court decides, right? I don't know how it would go if they lose. I don't know if it's a situation where if they lose, let's just lose, they renounce the citizenship and they run again in a by-election or something. And then, but if they win, it would be a big victory for them. Really big victory for them if they win. If they lose.
Well, and not just a big victory for them, but for persons who have aspirations of running for politics in the future. Those who may not necessarily realize that they have to denounce citizenship of another country. It depends on how it goes. I am looking at it for the way forward, not necessarily in relation to these candidates. Well, these current persons involved in the matter. So,
yeah. Well, I know that there was a situation where they had questioned the former Minister of Finance, Camilo Gonsalves, but he had renounced his citizenship. His name is actually on the list. Former, I think he was also a Minister of Foreign Affairs, also Sir Louis Straker, he had renounced his. I remember I had done that article when he had given the documents to me, and we had done an article on that. That's right, I done an article on that. Yeah, so that's the situation. People are keenly looking forward to see the outcome of that. And there's an article online, and it speaks of the lawyers involved. It says prominent law. This is from One News. It said prominent lawyers known for alignment with Trinidad and Tobago's opposing political parties, the People's National Movement and the United National Congress, are set to appear in landmark constitutional cases in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Former Trinidad and Tobago Prime Minister under the PNM government, Mr. Stuart Richard Young, and former government Senator and Attorney General and the UNC government, Mr. Anand Ramlogan, SC, are set to join proceedings challenging the nominations of two candidates for the November 27 general elections at SVG. A document published online by the Eastern Caribbean Supreme Court indicates that the High Court will hear applications from 5 lawyers seeking admission to the SVG bar. Also, they have to get admitted to the bar today to be able to practice here. So, Mr. Young, he represented the opposition candidates, Mr. Ramlogan, to be part of the legal team representing 2 government ministers, including the Prime Minister. Also, these guys have to be sworn in as members of the St. Vincent Bar to be able to practice there. Other lawyers seeking to be admitted to the bar as baritors at law and solicitors in the state of St. Vincent and the Grenadines are Kate Quincy Temple, Mabe of the UK, Vishal C. Saran, and Ganesh Sarup of Trinidad and Tobago. This is some big money spending here. These constitutional matters are not cheap. So this is some big money spending here.
And neither are they short.
Huh?
And neither are they short.
Yeah. So they say someone is coming from the UK, and like Trinidad has the they had a niche on these matters. So we have a lot of lawyers coming from Trinidad, and it would be interesting to see the price that these lawyers are charging to do these cases, right? Because there was
Why are we watching people's pockets? Lyf? Why are we watching people's pockets?
That's what we're doing. We're watching people pocket. We're watching politician pockets. we watching parties pockets. That's what we're watching.
Okay.
Because you remember we always were talking about the amount of money being spent during elections, right? Now we had this big case coming up with these big name lawyers and what's not. So we have to be wondering where these political parties are getting this big humongous sums from to pay these lawyers once again. If I could recall in one of the cases that the government had before the farmer government had before the court a few years ago, somebody had released some payment information and some the money that some of these lawyers were making locally and the foreign lawyers, and it was plenty money. It was a small amount, and some of the lawyers making this money were local lawyers, right? It was plenty money. So imagine a lawyer having to come from all the way from England and across the sea in Trinidad and Tobago. These are gonna be some exorbitant lawyer fees. So yeah, we're watching them things. We are watching them things, right? So yeah, we're gonna see. Hopefully, we're going to see the outcome of this. Some of these matters are often drawn out long because there's a lot of constitutional law and a lot of different things have to be done, and so sometimes they're drawn out really long. So it might be years in coming. That we see the end of this case. A lot of different things have to be
Lyf,
done.
we have a call on the line. Let's take it.
Really
Hello, good morning.
It might be years in coming.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Hello.
Today is the before I get to that, today is the 20th anniversary of Glenn Jackson's death, and I know his friend Kinsey Freitas will do something on his program today. Concerning the case, I understand if the ULP win those cases, they don't necessarily have to go back for a by-election. They could just put the candidates over to the 2 losing candidates. How Luke Wong would feel if he gets to sit in the seat maybe for 2 years, 3 years, whatever, and then another election come and they vote him out again for the 5th time. Would he feel like a jerk if that happened? What I think, I wish the case would drag on for like at least 4.5 years. So if the result come out one way or the other, we just go into a general election.
But Queen, let me
That's
ask you: do you think that
Right.
there needs to be some resolution to this? Though? I mean, whether it drags on for another 4, 5 years, 7 years, do you think that we should have some resolution to it?
We should have some resolution 25 years ago.
Point taken. Yes, I agree with that. But do you think that it's a matter that should be addressed?
It should have been addressed 25 years ago.
And you're sticking with that. All right.
And if you ask me thought,
All right, Queens. All right. Have a good one. Okay, bye.
There's an interesting comment when he says that it should drag on for 4.5 years. that could actually be a strategy. That could have to be a strategy from the lawyers, when they really come to think about. That's an interesting observation.
Yeah, but dragging on doesn't create any sort of resolution. And remember, in this case, it's already 14-1. So
but then it could displace the Prime Minister and the Minister of Foreign Affairs. It could displace them. So dragging it. That's an interesting comment, though. I think we might see that, when we really come to think about it. We might see that.
We have a call on the line. Hello, good morning.
Good morning to you. Good morning to you. Good morning, Maka.
Morning.
Indeed. I feel this case I don't think this is going away. Because one thing, 20-something years ago, Prime Minister Friday was running. Why didn't the challenge it in court a long time from beginning? You wait till now. I mean, no, you're out. The memory they can reject you. The people that reject you. It's 14-1. No, you decide to challenge something like this. And to me, they say making no sense. The comrade don't realize. No, you don't mean there for 25 years. You do your time. Oh God, you do some good, you do some bad. Government for government. Relax yourself, go out of politics now, relax yourself. Let some young persons come and control and try to see what check around when you live. Come on, Ralph.
Okay, so all right, so you see, this is the thing, right? I'm in agreement with those who would say that it should have happened before. But whether or not it should have happened before, the point it is currently happening, and there needs to be a resolution. Yes, I know how it looks in terms of who is bringing it at the time that it's being brought and all of that. But there needs to be a resolution.
It is in court, so you will get a resolution someday. But I when Carla just say, I wish it go up another 5 6 They run the petition and then for NDP from 2015.
This is really Dodon and the Grenadines. You know when I said Dodon and the Grenadines? Y'all don't want for it to finish?
We won't take him out. To me, this is nonsense.
Okay. All right. I hear you.
All
right. Thanks, Colin.
I agree with everything Roleza said. It's we should have it sorted out. I don't know. This is not, as I said, to me, this is not a political issue, but it's just an issue of right or wrong. What is right or wrong? Let the court look at the situation and tell us whether they were right or wrong over the last.
Lyf, we have another caller. Hello, good morning.
Yes, good morning.
Morning.
I was reading the news some time back. I think in Australia, one of them countries, even though they were dealing with the same situation with dual citizenship. But I can't remember the exact country, sorry. But anyways, as far as I listen, most of the folks, they only comment, they reply and are commenting after emotion. And as you said before, who is bringing it forward? What brought it forward? They've been looking at the record first. Everybody was calling for Camilla Loon. Everybody was calling for Louis Straker Zone. So Louis Straker Zone. Isn't that correct?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, so everybody was down looking for Camilla to the notices. Everybody was asking for Louis Straker to the notices. So what is the issue now? As I said, we need to have a resolution. It doesn't matter when it come. Because even though it did come before, it's the same set of persons who commenting, the comment now would have changed to the commenting to now. It would have been the same.
Okay.
So we need, and then everybody's talking, time for Ralph go home and take experience is best way. He might not. In the time he will decide, okay then, that's enough for me. But still, the youth them need guidance.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Carla, for your contribution. You too. Thanks.
I agree with everything that Carla said. You know what I mean? I don't know what they're talking about. Go home and don't work like that. I've always said there are certain positions that people say, oh, why you have old people and why you have elderly people and then you put young people in them. And certain positions you can't just put young people in them just so. You know what I mean? People don't know what they're talking about when they say Dr. Ralph Gonsalves need to leave politics and that. People don't know what they're talking about, you know. When Dr. Gonsalves leaves politics and that, half of them were talking about you should leave, they studying politics no more, you know. And it's no longer juicy and sweet and nice and the back and thing, you know. They don't know what they're talking about. You know? So they could carry on with that. They go on eventually when eventually withdraw from public life and no longer involved in politics. They go on and they go understand the importance, right? Because right now, in my view, his voice was missed at CARICOM. No, I'm not saying that the Prime Minister Dr. Garen Friday should not have been on CARICOM. People like to spin up words, right? He's the Prime Minister and that's his rightful place. But what I'm saying is that the Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves' voice is missed at regional meetings like these because of his stance and his political experience. You know, his voice is actually missed, you know, because there are a few leaders who are really, really outspoken, and he was one of them who didn't mind saying certain things diplomatically. See, Kamala Prasad could come and say who vex lose and she dealing with her country first. And Bowl and Ra, she said that Bowl and Ra, and then Andrew Holness came and said the same thing, but diplomatically, but the fact that he said it diplomatically, it went over certain people's head. But he was basically saying the same thing that Kamala was saying. So we miss Dr. Gonsalves' voice out there being outspoken, just like how they are outspoken right now. We have Mia Motley. She's doing her thing also. People respect that. But yeah, they could always call for him to leave. I know when he leaves, someone who they going to cuss when he leave.
You find a new target. That's what people do. They find a new target. All right.
So yes. In closing, we will eventually see the outcome of this case, hopefully soon. But as the caller here, Carl Queen say, he hopes it John, and I think that might be a strategy by the lawyers to try to get John out, because they don't know what the outcome is going to be, right? People might say, oh, we're confident the lawyers don't know what the outcome is going to be, because the law is not always plain and straightforward how we think it should be. So maybe one of their strategies is to draw it out to the next elections, and then they go from there. They get it sorted within that time frame. So if there are any issues, the candidates could go and renounce the citizenships and run again if they decide to run again. So maybe that's a strategy. That would be a very good strategy, though. No joke. So yeah, that's my take on that this morning.
All right. So we have to bring this segment to an end with Lyf for today. Given that we have cop chats coming up. All right. And I see that there are still calls coming in. We might have to accommodate them in our Talk to Us segment if you wish to continue the conversation then. All right. But we definitely have to end this commentary for this morning. All right. So Lyf, thank you for being here with us, and we will see you in the morrow. Okay.
Thank you. Bye.
All righty. All right. So time here in SVG, it is 8:04, and our time check came to the compliments of New Haven Funeral Home.
Death is a fact of life. Even though death is a fact of life, that doesn't